Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Erschen. This week we are doing the Summer Horror Haul. So guys, just getting back from a little bit of vacation I had, which included me going to a big flea market, one of those big outdoor flea markets, and they always have a lot of movies at these kind of things. So yeah, I was enjoying this little bit of end of summer we have here. The weather was beautiful, and I was having a great time. So I picked up some great horror films for you guys. Some you might be shocked that I don't already have, but you can never have like every horror movie ever made, even some of the classics, But I got some good ones here. First one is Children of the Corn. Yes, based on the novel by Stephen King. Now, I haven't seen all the films in the franchise, but out of the ones I've seen, this is really the only one that I actually like. But I do think this is a really good movie. Next up is a definite classic, once again from Stephen King, and that is Carrie, starring Sissy Spacek. What an awesome movie. What awesome direction by Brian De Palma on this one. Yeah, an absolute horror classic, no doubt about it. Next up, Jaws 2. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. That is my favorite tagline of all time. I think that's so awesome. And I did think this was a good sequel. Definitely nowhere near as good as the original, but you did get Roy Scheider back in there, and he did a great job once again. This one felt, I don't know if it's me, but it felt like a slasher movie with a shark. But it was still a lot of fun. Next up is another one you guys are probably going to be shocked I didn't already have. Army of Darkness, yes. The third installment of the Evil Dead franchise, of course, once again starring Bruce Campbell. Yeah, I'm surprised I don't have this already, but I did finally get around to getting it, so I'm happy about that. I'm happy I could complete the Evil Dead franchise. Next up is not a horror movie, but it's still awesome, and that is Mad Max. Of course, starring the legendary Mel Gibson on the role of Max. Such a great action classic, and sci-fi classic as well, because it's futuristic, I love that movie. I have a hard time deciding whether the original is the best or whether the Road Warrior is the best, but at any rate, Mad Max is awesome. Next up, The Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. Now, I figured I really feel like I should kind of complete the Nightmare on Elm Street collection, because it's such a legendary franchise. I feel it's my duty, even if there's ones that I don't care that much for, like Elm Street 5 I'm not a huge fan of, really, but I feel like I should complete the franchise. But that being said, we have a new Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. So this was Wes Craven returning to the franchise for the 7th installment. And this is definitely a solid entry, but I feel like it is a little bit overrated. People really talk this one up, but it does have a pacing issue. It's very slow and can be boring at times. With that being said, I really did enjoy seeing Heather Langenkamp back, and she did a fantastic job, and it was cool to see Freddy scary again. So those two things they definitely got right. Next up, we're going into the early 2000s horror with Valentine, which is a nice little slasher coming off the heels of the Scream era, the resurrection of the slasher genre that Scream brought about. So you had Scream, and then you had films like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legends, and this one right here. Next up is Final Destination 2. You can't cheat death twice. That's another great tagline. Not as good as Jaws 2, but I did really enjoy this one here. This is a great sequel. Probably the best sequel on the franchise, I would say. An awesome opening there with the car accident. That was brutal. And that awesome death with the plate glass window falling on top of the guy. Oh man, that was nasty. And next up is a highly underrated film, I think, and that is Daybreakers. What an awesome vampire movie. Definitely one of my favorites. With Ethan Hawke, you got Willem Dafoe in there. You got a great performance by Sam Neill, who I always like. A really creative, very original vampire film, I think. With great action, great cast. And I love the idea of, having vampires that don't really want to kill humans to drain their blood. So they try and come up with a blood substitute, and I enjoy that idea. But of course, some people in the film don't want that. They want to be the classic vampire and feed off the blood of the living. But this is an awesome movie. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. And that's it, guys. That's the Summer Horror Haul. So I really look forward to revisiting some of these films, and you may see some reviews from me on these later on at some point. But I'm going to really enjoy sinking my teeth into these horror classics. So thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Erschen, in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared.